welcome to Portland Wrestling Uncut. Please welcome to ringside the man they call Exile. X, what a match you had last week with Big Ugly. You fought the Pacific Northwest heavyweight champion to a time limit draw, came within a fraction of winning the title. Now, I want to show some footage right now. If we can go ahead and show this footage from the match last week. Here you see you and Big Ugly in the ring, and watch this kick. Absolutely knocked out the heavyweight champion. Now, I've just gotten word that apparently Big Ugly suffered a concussion from that blow, and doctors say he cannot wrestle for the next few weeks at least. He can't even travel, so he's not here today. I also found out that when he does come back, you have an instant rematch with the heavyweight champion, Big Ugly. Your thoughts, Exile, on coming so close to winning the belt and having that second opportunity?
You know what? My thoughts on coming so close, I'm not even worried about it because that was yesterday. That was the day before. Right now, I'm worried about that rematch. Ugly's one of the toughest SOB.
Oh, hold on. The manager of Exile, the Grappler. With a warm welcome.
They can say whatever they want to, but hey,
they will.
man, they can say whatever they want to about me, but look what I got you. Another chance at the title. All those weeks and months in the gym that I took you and trained you, and I taught you how to take a heavyweight belt, how to take a champion and beat him to a pulp. I loved it. Because of me, Big Ugly.
Because that was you in the gym.
Close to the belt.
That was you in the gym lifting those weights. That was you in the ring knocking Ugly out.
Now, before we go any further, Grappler, I'm actually glad you're here. We have an announcement to make. Today on Portland Wrestling Uncut, we're going to have a series of matches between members of the Portland Wrestling Uncut roster and your replacement wrestlers, Scabs.
Don't call them scabs.
So, we've got a series of matches between the Uncut wrestlers and your Scabs, and one of those matches will be Exile versus Eric Baiten. Now, you manage Exile, but you brought Eric Baiten into Uncut. Whose corner will you be in tonight?
Eric Baiten is a good wrestler. Exile is an excellent wrestler. This is going to be a good match.
That's not what I asked. Whose corner will you be in tonight, Eric Baiten or Exile?
I heard Eric Baiten has won his last 10 matches. Exile, I know, hasn't lost. You see what he did to Big Ugly. This is going to be interesting, Joe.
I'm just looking for a one-word answer. Exile or Baiten? Whose corner will you be in tonight?
I'll be in this corner right here watching a great match.
All right, well, we can't get an answer from the Grappler, but we do have a series of great matches, and coming up next after the break, our first Uncut versus Scab match. You're watching Portland Wrestling Uncut. Welcome back, everybody. Joe V, joined once again this week by our friend from 1080 The Fan, Josh Wilcox. And Josh, it's our first in a series of Uncut versus Scab wrestlers. We have the Azul Angel versus Rockin' Ricky Gibson, two high flyers that we're going to see tonight.
Yeah, two high flyers, and when you talk about Scabs, that's kind of derogatory comment. Not all of these guys coming in here are what you would say on the Grappler side, so to speak. They're looking for an opportunity to get a job, come in here and make an impact. And listen, the way they feed their families. The way they survive is to wrestle, and what a better place to come in here. Portland Wrestling Uncut, one of the best territories out there now. Make a name for yourself.
And we've actually seen Rockin' Ricky Gibson before. He wrestled a match at what was
How can you see him with all those cheetah stripes, or cheetah? Man, I couldn't see him over there.
A Making the Cut match, we had Ricky Gibson in, and I guess he doesn't feel like he got a fair shake, so he sees the Grappler bringing him in as an opportunity once again to make a mark here in Portland Wrestling Uncut. I know Ricky. He's actually a pretty good guy, and again, he's just looking for that opportunity. We've got wrestlers coming, not just from throughout the Northwest, but throughout the United States. They want a shot here. Hey, you get to be on television. You get to work with Roddy Piper.
Yes.
I mean, this is a great opportunity for a young wrestler. Look at that cross-body.
Oh, why would you not? It's one of the hottest territories out there right now, and everybody can kind of relate to this. If there's an opening and you want that job bad enough, what are you going to do to go get it?
Now, Azul Angel, of course, fans will remember, look at those high-flying maneuvers from the Azul Angel, brought in here by Gabriel Iglesias, our buddy Big Fluffy, brought him in here a couple weeks ago. Oh, look at that. Trying to springboard, but then Ricky Gibson knocks him right in the sternum with that drop kick, going for the quick cover.
Rookie mistake there by not hooking the leg. You get that, you got to hook the leg there for the pin. Kind of looks like you out in the jungle gym with the kids, right, Jovi?
Right. Yes, exactly. Now, we're going to see Ricky Gibson. Looks like flipping the Azul Angel. Azul's got that luchador style. And Ricky Gibson, not a luchador, of course, but can match him, of course, with the high-flying maneuvers.
Yeah.
Now, Josh.
Almost
wow.
a Fez press attempt from the top rope.
Now, what's your strategy when you face one of these guys with kind of the lucha background that Azul Angel has?
I think, both of them study a lot of tape. When you look at those things, it's quickness, it's speed, it's taking advantage of those things. Anytime you can get ahead of them and then catch them with a quick move, a quick kick, a lot of high-flying aerial maneuvers. You're not going to see a lot of power moves, but as they can take that and transform it into, that's going to be the best opportunity for someone to pull out a victory.
Absolutely. All right. Azul Angel powers out, but rockin' Ricky Gibson drops him once again with that drop kick, going for the cover. Of course, we've got a series of matches, as we mentioned today, featuring the Uncut roster versus the Grappler Scabs. I understand Patrick Large and Colt are going to be in action tonight. And not only that, we mentioned in that earlier segment, Exile is going to face Eric Baiten. Now, this is an interesting dynamic,
Yes.
Josh, because the Grappler is Exile's manager, but he also brought in Eric Baiten and all these other Scabs. Oh, look at that maneuver there. Flipping drop kick from the Azul Angel. Look at this. Watch what happens here. Oh, hits him with that Inzaguri. So as I was saying, the Grappler is Exile's manager, but he brought in Eric Baiten. So whose corner is he going to be in? And he was very non-committal. He did not want to say, look out, 2. Yeah, did not want to say whose side he was going to be on in that match.
The Grappler's been pretty consistent in saying everything and standing out on ledge, but boy, you put him in a corner and he kind of didn't say a whole lot, did he?
Yeah, he's kind of playing both sides of the fence, which I guess we shouldn't be surprised by anything that the Grappler does these days.
To be honest, that's good strategy if you really want to admit it, but at the same time, Exile's not putting up with any of the credit that Grappler thinks he should get.
Okay, Azul Angel missed that maneuver off the top rope here, and now going behind Ricky Gibson, trying to roll him up. It's really, these are definitely the hardest matches to call because it is just nonstop action, one high-flying maneuver after the other, and my Spanish is kind of rusty, so half the moves I can't say, Josh.
Oh yeah, my Rosetta Stone has not yet get to me in the mail, so I'm having a tough time as well, my friend.
But boy, quick pinfalls constantly. What a great opener, rocking Ricky Gibson. I tell you what, this kid's showing me something. I think he definitely should be a part of the roster. 1, 2.
Oh,
Not able to lock it up. I mean, this is a guy who's bringing some skills into the ring. Just because you're a scab, and this is something we've said before, doesn't mean you're no good.
No.
It doesn't mean you're not a great wrestler.
But you got to leave it all out there on the mat. You got to impress somebody. If you only get 1 or 2 opportunities.
Oh, look at that Hurricane Rana from the Azul Angel off the top rope, going for the pinfall. 1, 2, 3, and the Azul Angel with a big victory over rockin' Ricky Gibson.
Ricky Gibson had it right there.
Azul Angel.
What an exciting high-flying victory for the Azul Angel. So right now, it's Uncut 1, Scab 0. We have plenty of matches still to come. You're watching Portland Wrestling Uncut. This segment is brought to you by Rick's Auto Sales in Rainier. Welcome back to Portland Wrestling Uncut, joined right now by Colt Toombs and Patrick Large. Hello, gentlemen. How are you?
Oh, we're doing great, man.
How's it going, Jovi? We're in great spirits tonight. How you doing?
Great to see you guys. We've got our series of matches tonight, Uncut versus the Grappler Scabs. I understand you're both going to be wrestling, but in singles matches. Is that correct?
Absolutely. If you notice, there's no longer a C on his chest.
What happened, Captain?
That's right, Jovi. No longer am I going to go around here talking about how I'm the team captain. Right now, we stand here. We are equals. Yeah. We face the same problem. We face the same problem in this business. We got people coming in here and trying to take food off of our plate.
We've been here from the beginning. These scabs are coming in here. We helped build Portland Wrestling Uncut, and we're here. We have a next match. We don't even know who's in it yet.
Well, who is going to wrestle? Is it going to be Patrick or Colt? Who's going?
You know what? Flip a coin. I think that I should go first. I'm not the captain anymore, but I am still kind of the vet here in our group.
Colt?
Whoa, you're the no. It's my turn.
But I think that I should go out there. I can set the bar real high. We can take it home.
Colt?
Thanks, Colt, you do it. See, being the rookie, I need the experience.
All right, guys, we need a resolution here. How can we figure out who's going to wrestle?
You're right. You do need the experience. You do, and I need to set the bar. But I think we can do this. I think we can do this like men, right? Yeah. No, like rock paper scissors.
Rock, paper, scissors. Okay. Winner's going to fight?
Winner goes first.
Winner goes first. Okay. All right. Here we go, gentlemen. All right. Let's see it.
Let's do this. Ready?
Oh, paper beats rock. Patrick Large, you're going to wrestle first.
What do you mean that?
Okay, I'll tell you what. You won that. I'm a sore loser. So I'll tell you what. If I beat my scab faster than you beat yours, you buy drinks tonight.
Well, I know that I'm going to beat my scab faster than than you're going to beat your scab. So I tell you what. If I win faster, you're going to buy the drinks tonight. And you're going to bring your sister.
And you're going to bring your sister? Is that what he said?
That's not fair.
All right, well.
Gone, of course.
Well, Patrick Large won the rock, paper, scissors. Thank you, Colt. We'll see you coming up next. Now, it's time to bring out the opponent of Patrick Large. He's one of the Grappler's replacements. Please welcome Dylan Devine, ladies and gentlemen. Here he is. Dylan, if I could have a word with you. Hi, Dylan. My name's Joe. This is a microphone. So you're going to be wrestling Patrick Large. Tell us a little bit about yourself, there, Dylan, if you would. All right. Well, this has been a fascinating conversation. Thank you very much. Right now, Patrick Large versus Dylan Devine, Josh. Let's do this. Well, that's an interesting young man.
Yeah, very interesting. Is the D stand for disturb?
Dementia, take your pick.
Yeah.
Dylan Devine. Now, you actually may have heard the crowd there chanting Buddy Rose. Patrick Large is wearing a black armband there with the initials of BR. That's because this week marks the anniversary of the death of the late, great Portland wrestling legend, Playboy Buddy Rose, who actually trained Patrick Large along with a number of wrestlers on the Uncut roster.
Oh, yeah, Buddy Rose, I actually am in ownership of his robe. So you talk about memorabilia, that's one to have hanging up in my old man room.
Well, Patrick Large making the Playboy proud right now with some quick pinfall attempts with Dylan Devine. Look at this, a couple of small packages rolling back and forth. So Dylan Devine.
I got to give you credit.
Yeah.
That's probably the best interview I've ever seen you do.
Right. Dylan Devine, my goodness. He kind of reminds me, and this is very high praise, of Bob Backlund. And by which I mean the crazy, psychopathic version of Bob Backlund.
Don't know if the mat skill's quite there yet.
Well, he's a young guy. He may get there. But, boy, this guy, either he's out to lunch or he knows something we don't.
I'm going to go the out to lunch part. It's interesting here, though. We've seen Colt and Patrick Large working as a team.
Yeah.
We've seen them in singles actions before, but as they're taking on these guys one-on-one, does he get distracted by being in a team too long? Going back to singles competition, how difficult can that be?
All right, Patrick Large climbing the ropes now. Looks like he's going to try to drop a big leg on Dylan Devine, who gets out of the way. Talk about your awkward landings, Josh.
Yeah, he got a lot of air on that one. Dylan Devine, that's a smart move by a young kid.
And I don't know if you heard, but Patrick and Colt apparently have a wager. Whoever wins their match the fastest, the other person has to buy drinks tonight.
Well, it doesn't matter because they're both buying for you and I, so, I mean, who cares, right?
Maybe for you. Nobody buys me anything around here,
come
Josh,
on,
if you haven't
Joe V.
noticed. And then, I don't know if you heard, Patrick slipped in there. Oh, by the way, you have to buy drinks and you got to bring your sister Fallon.
Yeah, man, bring in the sister thing, huh?
Boy, they
Go
must
in
be
there.
pretty good friends that Colt didn't deck him after saying
Yeah,
that.
that's quite a jab, but, maybe they're kind of family buddies as well. I'm sure he's been over there sitting around the dinner table because I think there's probably a father out there that's going to have something to say about that, too.
Can you imagine being the guy that Fallon brought home? Hey, meet my dad. This is Roddy Piper.
Yeah.
Patrick Large may want to rethink that strategy.
Well, he might want to rethink a strategy this match. Well, Dylan Devine's giving him a match here, isn't he?
He has. He may have that slightly psychopathic look to him, but the guy knows what he's doing there in the ring. The double D, Dylan Devine now.
Double disturbed. I'm going to go with that one, man.
Yeah. Doubly disturbed, dementia, diluted. Take your pick. There's a number of adjectives that can apply to Dylan Devine, but as we said, these guys that the Grappler's bringing in here, these aren't guys off the street. These are accomplished wrestlers looking to make their mark, and they're giving it everything they've got and making quite the impression thus far this evening.
As much as we call him scabs, he didn't walk down the local 7-Eleven and pick somebody who was buying a big golf out. These guys have been out there wrestling. They want an opportunity. Everybody wants an opportunity in life. What are you going to go do for it? Grappler, while I don't always agree with it, he's bringing them in there, getting their foot in the door. It's up to each and every individual to take advantage of that opportunity.
And Josh, you won't believe this. I understand next week we're going to have even more replacement wrestlers coming from as far away as Canada and from Championship Wrestling in Hollywood. They're going to be here next week, so this is just the beginning. The Grapplers bringing in wrestlers from all over the country, not only the country, all around the world.
Yeah, and you think about it, the Grappler, who's been around so long, his network of people, the people he knows throughout the United States, throughout the world, in terms of professional wrestling, he can go out there, he can turn over rocks, he can use his contacts, just like the NFL draft, all those things. He can go out and scout, he can find that right guy to fit, and he's going to give every guy an opportunity to come in here because Grappler wants to take this place over.
Absolutely, the 7-time Pacific Northwest Heavyweight Champion. Again, his hostile takeover continues, but Patrick Large fighting back and dropping the replacement Dylan Devine.
Standing drop kick, not an easy move to make at all.
Look at that crucifix by Patrick Large. Sometimes you can turn that into a pinning maneuver. He didn't. He just got the impact there on Dylan. And Patrick Large is fired up, and the crowd is behind him.
Crowd really involved right now. What's he going to do to the old double D disturb?
Oh, wait, look out. Patrick Large calls this one. Oh, I thought he was going to go for the tight fit, but no. Dylan Devine hits him with that neck breaker. What action we're seeing here, Josh.
Great action. Sneaky move by Dylan Devine. He surprised me right there by pulling that off. This might be kind of an act of being crazy. I don't know, because he just clearly is crazy, isn't he?
You know, if he's just acting crazy, this guy's Daniel Day-Lewis. Because he's pretty far out there.
Better get him his Academy Award.
But just because you're crazy doesn't mean you can't wrestle.
Yes, that's
Sometimes
very true.
The best wrestlers are pretty darn crazy. Whoa! Patrick Large slipping there off the top rope. He's going for that maneuver. He calls it the tight fit, but he wasn't able to get it in there. And wait a minute, Dylan Devine, 2, 3. Patrick Large gets the pinfall on Dylan Devine.
Winner of the match, Patrick Large.
All right, if you're keeping score, that's Uncut 2, Scab 0. A big victory for Patrick Large. And Dylan Devine not looking too happy, Josh.
Not very excited about the income. Had a great opportunity there, didn't take advantage of it. Patrick Large, that's why he's been a veteran. Buddy Rose trained him, small package for the victory. Great move by a KG veteran.
And you know, I'm going to skip the post-match interview because I don't think I want to speak with Dylan Devine again. We'll be right back with more Portland Wrestling Uncut.
Eric, listen, you got to wrestle Exile tonight. Now, listen, he's a big guy, I understand. But let me tell you something about him, okay? Deep down inside, I've trained with him. He's like a big old marshmallow. And plus, you know what? His right knee, it's been injured before in a match. So if you get on his right knee, brother, because you're the best scab, replacement wrestler that I have, okay, on the card. So I want you to give it to him tonight and come back a winner, okay? All right. Good man. Thank you.
Introducing first, from North Portland, weighing 187 pounds, Demarcus James.
All right, joined in the corner here by Demarcus James. Now, Demarcus, you're one of the Grappler's replacement wrestlers. Gentleman George Michael, you're a member of the Uncut roster.
You know what this is, Joe? This is what is called a stupid takeover because this is what's going to happen. I've been looked past. I've been looked by. Now we're going to go do things my way, and that's this way. We're going to have a match. We're going to put this man in that ring against a man that I absolutely despise. Colt, you've been nothing but a little... I don't even want to even say what I want to say about Colt Toombs. You all know what a bloody cheating idiot he is, so this is what's going to happen. I want this man against Colt Toombs. I'm independent, Joe. There's nobody out there that's got my back. I'm bringing somebody out here to have my back and take care of my problems.
Now, is this sour grapes? Is this sour grapes because Colt Toombs beat you once again last week?
Sour grapes my butt, Joe. You know as well as I do. That man couldn't beat me if he tried. He had brass knuckles in his hand. He had a roll of quarters in his hand. There's no way he could beat me fair and square, 1, 2, 3. He's a product of a little cheating man. Like, well, I mean, for crying out loud, he's Roddy Piper's boy for crying out loud. You know he's a cheat.
Demarcus James, is this the kind of man you want in your corner? Gentleman George Michael, this is an odd couple if I've ever seen one.
Odd couple. I don't think this is an odd couple. Is this the only man? This is the only man I want in my corner. He can back up everything he says.
All right, you want him, you got him. Demarcus James got a match right now. We'll see you in the ring. Go ahead. Right now, for their opponent, or for Demarcus's opponent, let's send it over to Garrett Furtick. Garrett.
From Hillsboro, Oregon, weighing 200 pounds, Colt Toombs.
All right, here we go, Josh. Colt Toombs and Demarcus James with Gentleman George at ringside.
Gentleman George at ringside, huh? Always putting his nose in there. The blue blood that Gentleman George is, right?
If you say so.
Yeah.
I know he does.
I know he does, in his own world.
So, not since The Odd Couple have I seen a pair quite like Demarcus James and Gentleman George Michael.
A unique combination, to
If
say
there
the least.
ever was one, but wrestling makes for strange bedfellows, ladies and gentlemen. Gentleman George, he denies it's sour grapes, but
Okay, what is it then?
second guess that exactly.
Sour lemon, sorry.
Exactly. As we've documented on this show, on the very first episode of Portland Wrestling Uncut, he was knocked out by Colt Toombs. A couple weeks later, he was knocked out again.
Yeah.
Last week, he wanted a rematch. He wasn't knocked out, but he did lose.
Yeah, he hasn't been on the successful side. His winning record is not quite the same as his record on the loss side. Again, Colt Toombs is one of those guys I've had my eye on. A second-generation guy. I understand all the pressures it has, but I've seen him step up week after week, improve his game. It's fun watching Colt Toombs go from rookie to first-year guy and to see that transformation going forward. And you can see the light bulb start to flicker every once in a while with him.
You're one of the guys who can actually understand what Colt's going through. You followed your father into professional football, a Hall of Famer. Colt's dad,
Well,
a
I'm
Hall
in
of
the
Famer.
XFL Hall of Fame, right?
Exactly.
It's in the basement of the Alamo.
Right next to He Hate Me.
Yeah.
Colt following his father's famous footsteps. But I got to say, for a rookie who's got big shoes to fill, he's actually done a pretty good job, I would have to say.
He's done a fantastic job, and I think teaming with Patrick Large, a guy who gave him some confidence, as you saw earlier, not the captain of the team kind of going there, but we still got that bet going, right? What's the bet? Whoever gets it fastest, someone's buying, and they said they're buying beers for us, is what I heard.
That's not a detail that I was told. I'll take it, though, if they're buying. But yes, the deal was who can win faster. Colt, or I should say Patrick, had a real back-and-forth match with Dylan Devine that he was able to win. Look at that nip-up by Colt Toombs right into a spine buster, going for the pinfall. 1, 2. Demarcus James kicks out.
Again, you see Colt Toombs, and we all know his MMA expertise, and that's his main background, but now you're seeing him transform that into the wrestling arena and also picking up some wrestling skills, some moves, some nip-ups. Very athletic guy, laying in those punches there.
He's got great combinations that he's developed, again, from his MMA background. But, yeah, you mix that in with the traditional professional wrestling maneuvers, and, boy, you've got a potent fighting machine there in Colt Toombs.
Very tough guy, but sometimes I think the rookie headlights get in the way every once in a while. You know what I mean, Joe V?
Well, he's only been at this
I know.
5 or 6 months. I mean,
I'm splitting hairs here. I understand
now
that.
Demarcus James off the second rope, dropping an elbow right across the chest of Colt Toombs, going for the pinfall. Gentleman George getting a little too close to Colt Toombs for my liking right now.
Yeah, and that's the one thing you have to watch out for was what exactly is he going to do out here? And we know he doesn't like Colt Toombs, so isn't there some sort of scenario? Why is he kind of out here? I know that he wants to get back at him.
Yeah.
What's his ulterior motive?
Well, George feels like, look at the sunset flip by Colt Toombs. 1, 2. Demarcus James just gets out. George feels that he hasn't been given a fair shake in Portland Wrestling Uncut, and I think he blames Colt Toombs for that because he's embarrassed him on television a number of times. And so that's why he's here. I don't know what impact on this match he's going to have. Obviously, he's not allowed to get physically involved in this.
And that's what we talked about earlier, the sour grapes, sour lemons. He doesn't have enough fair shot. Well, you got to take advantage of your opportunities when you get them. He hasn't taken advantage of his opportunities. Now he can blame somebody like the Colt Toombs or Roddy Piper or the crowd or whatever else. Sometimes you need to look in the mirror, Gentleman George.
A series of drop kicks from Colt Toombs on Demarcus James. Demarcus James is a replacement wrestler, but, he's a pretty accomplished wrestler himself. He actually was in Portland Wrestling Uncut briefly. He competed in our tag team championship tournament just for a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
Didn't have a lot of success. I guess was shown the door, and the Grappler brought him back. Again, one of these guys looking to make an impact, but an accomplished wrestler. He's wrestled not just here in the Northwest, but up and down the West Coast.
We talk about it. Grappler's bringing guys in. Here's the door. Take advantage of your opportunity. The old football cliche. Here's the ball. Run with it. What do? Do you run backwards or do you run through that line? Do you run through the doors? If you want to go here, you want to work here, you want to be a star in Portland Wrestling Uncut, you got to take advantage of every opportunity you can do.
And Demarcus James is fighting back. Maybe not with 100% legal tactics.
Yeah.
They're raking the eye of Colt Toombs and scooping him up. Little Hess there in the way, slamming him to the mat, and looks like Demarcus is going to go back up. Maybe drop that fist on Colt too.
Going back to what you said earlier, a vet here, and Colt, who's been in it 5-6 months, he's really showing some things for me out here.
Oh, look at this, walking the ropes there, Demarcus James, and drops a right hand on the face of Colt Toombs, but taking his time to get the pinfall here. He does cinch in the leg, but Colt Toombs kicks out.
Young official there stepping up. Very impressed with what he can do. Listen, he's not taking any grief from anybody. He's got those stripes on. He's got some power.
That's Dominic Hess,
Oh, yeah.
the son of our own Wade By God Hess, an accomplished referee in his own.
This is not a gimmick. He's a licensed official.
Oh, look at that. Demarcus went to the top, but Colt Toombs stopped him, and now he's hitting him with some right hands. What's he going to go for here, Josh? It looks like a superplex. Can he get him over? Off the top rope! Superplex. Colt Toombs drops Demarcus James to the mat and goes for the pin. 2, and Demarcus James just gets out of there.
Big move by Colt. Again, takes the wind out of his sails, so Demarcus James steps right back up. That's the veteran leadership, or being in the ring so many times, kind of knowing your bearings. But Colt's showing me something here today.
Although the superplex seems like one of those moves that, you hurt the other guy, but it doesn't feel great for you either.
Yeah, you can take a lot of wind out of your sail. It's like running through a wedge. Sometimes it could hurt you even more.
Speaking of hurt,
Oh.
Demarcus James bringing it there to Colt Toombs. The crowd was getting fired up, counting those punches. Maybe he got a little bit distracted. Demarcus James able to take advantage.
The best thing for Colt, though, is people are starting to recognize him for Colt, not because of his father. And that's
Very
the
true.
important thing, is as you go forward, you need to recognize for what you can do out there. He's never going to be Roddy Piper. Let's be honest here. Roddy Piper's a legend. Let's experience Colt and value Colt for Colt Toombs.
Now hold on a sec. Gentleman George Michael grabbing Colt Toombs. What is going on here? What are you doing? What is your problem? Stay out of this match. All right, wait a minute now. Colt Toombs has been knocked to the outside area here. Gentleman George, stay away. You were not a part of this match.
Yeah, why don't you get out of here, Gentleman George? What's the big...
Colt Toombs making his way here to the announce desk.
Okay, not a good situation.
Careful out here. Demarcus James, look out. You've got some expensive equipment here.
Yeah, we don't want to do that.
Let's be careful here. Now stop. Hey, whoa. All right. Josh Wilcox getting involved there. Stop.
Get out of here, man.
James.
Why don't you get out of here?
Hey, George. George has got that bell. Staring down Josh Wilcox there. Letting Colt Toombs get a breather.
Get back in there, kiddo. Get back in there. You got to go fight that guy.
All right. Well, Josh, thank you for...
Yeah, I didn't want I'm retired. I'm not a worker or anything, but I'm not going to sit here and let some guy hit somebody on the table in front of us. Safety first.
Wrestling is wrestling, but sometimes you can't take it too far. Thank you for stepping in there. And yeah, for people who don't know, Josh, of course, an accomplished professional wrestler not too long ago.
Yeah.
So Demarcus James and Gentleman George Michael, they know that pedigree. They don't want to get involved with that.
Yeah, they might bite off more than they can chew.
Now, wait a second. Colt Toombs rolling up Demarcus James for the pinfall. And he drops Gentleman George with a right hand. Payback is a you-know-what.
Big victory for Colt.
All right. Thanks to a little help from my broadcast partner, Gentleman George Michael, with the victory over Demarcus James, and he takes out Gentleman George. Wait a minute. Here's a few words here from Colt Toombs. He's got the announcer mic.
Mr. Wilcox, it's an absolute honor to be even in the same room with you. Thank you.
All right. A shout out to Colt Toombs, to our broadcast partner, Josh Wilcox. There you go.
I like that kid, man.
Can I say it's an honor for me to be with you, too?
Well, that's what I say about you every day, Joe V.
Thank you, Josh. All right. Uncut 3, Scabs 0. We'll be right back with more Portland Wrestling Uncut.
It's flashback time. This is Don Cost. We're going to take you way back on this one. This is when the great Frank Bonema was in the Crow's Nest interviewing Steve Regal and Matt Bourne. And Steve Regal created a very vicious wardrobe malfunction for Matt Bourne. Watch this one.
I think I've proved that I'm a better wrestler than Steve Regal, that I have more class. That I have more class than Steve Regal. Hey, if you want to watch this interview, go grab a seat, Regal. And not only do I have more class than Regal. Regal. Regal's going after him. There goes the shirt. He's trying to take the pants off, I think. He is. The shirt, the tie. We got an X-rated program, or at least are. He's literally stripped him. Where does he get off coming up here tearing my tuxedo? Oh, Regal! That just goes to show you what kind of a sport Regal is. What kind of a wrestler is he? I beat him last Tuesday night with nobody's help, and he comes out here, he rips my tuxedo right off my back. I don't know, but he got it done. He just realized he's in his underwear. With that, we're gonna cut away. Hey, I gotta tell you, there's a first time for everything.
I'm joined right now by Jor-El Nelson and Jonas Robinson, two of the Grappler's replacement wrestlers. Now, Jor-El, we've seen you on the show before. You had a Making the Cut match a couple months ago. Jonas, you are new to Portland Wrestling Uncut. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
You know, you call it scab wrestlers, you call it replacements. The way I see it, me and Jor-El, we're opportunists. We have the opportunity to come to the hottest company in all of professional wrestling. And now if we gotta take someone's spot to stay here, you know, that's tough cookies for them. Now the way I see it, when it's your first day in prison, you go into the cafeteria, you scope out the baddest man, and you take his spot at the table. Now the baddest tag team in wrestling call themselves the Blanchard Brothers. Well, Blanchards, I'm sitting at your table, and I'm eating to my heart's content. Tell them about it.
I'll keep this real short and sweet for all of you because I know the intelligence level here is really low.
Yeah, I get that feeling.
The only thing in the future for the greatest show in the ring and the Dwight Howard professional wrestling are those tag team titles.
Oh, we will.
The crowd's chanting, earn their respect. Are you ready to earn it right now?
Earn it, take it, do whatever it takes.
All right, Jonas, Jor-El, you said you want the baddest men on the roster?
Bring them out.
Head to the ring, because right now, we're going to bring out the Pacific Northwest Tag Team Champions, Bubba and Jeremy, the Blanchard Brothers. Jeremy, you heard what they said. They said they want the baddest cats on the whole roster. It doesn't get any badder than Double B, Double Bad, and JB.
That's his middle name, Double B, Double Bad. You know, it's good to see that at least two of the Jackson 5 can continue to get work. It's nice. I mean, it's a little different than coming out and singing songs when you got two of the baddest men on the planet. We are the one and only Pacific Northwest Tag Team Champions you ever had. Take a look at it.
Mr. Ulala?
You know, Joe V, in accordance with my Fifi philosophy, generally if I have a scab or a blemish, I'll use some exfoliating masks or aromatherapy to get rid of it. But today I have something even better, the Blanchard Brothers.
And the Uncut Suplex Factory, Double B, Double Bad, Bubba Blanchard.
Joe V! The people are out here, Joe V! And the people want to see the Messiah of the entire empire, Jeremy Blanchard. And my goodness, something must be going wrong because he's standing next to Olaf. I mean, I never thought I'd see that day. But let me tell you something, just like my brother said, you got two of the Jackson 5 in the ring right now. I'm not going to take anything away from their talent. I know these boys can wrestle. But boys, let me tell you something. You're talking about being in there with Jeremy Blanchard and Bubba Blanchard. It don't get any bigger. It don't get any better. You are going to be treated like Tito and LaToya.
All right, the Blanchards heading to the ring for their match with Jonas and Jor-El. And boy, Tito and LaToya may be in for a rude awakening, Josh Wilcox.
Yes, they might be. I was wondering, are those two caterpillars on Nelson's head? Jor-El Nelson, are those two caterpillars or are those eyebrows? I can't really quite tell. And he called also, Jonas Robinson is the Dwight Howard.
Uh-huh.
Right? So he's going to wrestle with a headband.
Well, Dwight Howard, Jonas Robinson, neither one's ever won a title.
I was getting ready to say, not a successful move for Dwight Howard, right?
He's
Yeah.
tall. I'll
Yeah,
give him
he's
that.
tall.
There you go. Wow. Jor-El and Jonas.
As much as I make fun of them, they did step in here and ask for the champs. You got to give them credit there. I mean, no matter who they are, they walked in and said, we want the biggest, baddest. Here you go. The only Portland Wrestling Uncut Tag Team Champion since you guys have started.
Yep, since day one, Bubba Blanchard, Jeremy Blanchard, they've been Pacific Northwest Tag Team Champions, and now they're going to take on, well, Jonas Robinson, that's him right there, doing a little Michael Jackson flair there, so acknowledging the reference.
Well, maybe they listened to the 8-track on the way up here.
I feel really bad that Randy and Marley didn't get mentioned in that promo, but whatever. Tito and LaToya will work.
Yeah, that's Jermaine or somebody else, right? They definitely weren't part of the Victory Tour back in the day, were they?
I don't think so. Arm drags from Bubba Blanchard on big Jonas Robinson. A tall drink of water, this guy.
One of the most exciting pro wrestlers out there, Bubba Blanchard.
Man, he's a house of fire. He's a house of fire if he's talking, if he's wrestling, if he's just walking down the hall. Bubba Blanchard, this man is excitement.
Sometimes it's just
no doubt
too
about
easy.
it.
I'm actually going to go out on a limb here and say he's one of the leaders in the locker room back there. He's one of those guys that everybody looks up to, and especially here, you've seen him transform himself, get back in the gym, commitment to excellence. He's taking that step. Now Jeremy's taking that next step. What's the future hold for the Blanchards? Who could come in here and take those belts away from them?
When Bubba speaks, people listen. Jeremy Blanchard, too. Jeremy
Blanchard speaks all the time, so after a while, you got to turn it off, right?
Jeremy now in there with Jor-El Nelson. Now, is the name a Superman reference? And this is going to sound really geeky. You do know that Jor-El was Superman's dad, right?
Okay, that's
I'm a
geeky.
nerd.
No,
okay,
it's
I'm a nerd.
I'll give you that one.
But this guy, I don't know if he looks like Superman, but he is put together. You can tell Jor-El Nelson has spent some time in the gym.
Yeah, a big workout, and like you said, you've seen him around here before once in a while. These guys are not, like I've said earlier, not guys that Grappler went out and said, hey, you're at 7-Eleven getting a Slurpee, guys, you want to come wrestle. These guys have been out there honing their craft. Here's an opportunity to get in there. You're going against the Blanchards, one of the best tag teams in the nation.
Jonas Robinson actually trained with Lance Storm in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. So you're talking about a legendary wrestler right there under his tutelage. And then Jor-El. I'm Jor-El and Jonas, getting them a little mixed up. Jor-El is actually a relatively new to the wrestling game, but a fantastic athlete who's showing something in there. Not a whole lot right now, but showing some athleticism in there with the tag team champions.
Well, it's kind of hard to show something in there when you're going against the best tag team out there right now. And you look at it, and Jeremy Blanchard's really, their style's big, powerful, that old Memphis style of wrestling really in there, but these guys can also do some different things. And Bubba's suplexes, he can throw on about 50 of them. And then, the other factor is ooh la la on the outside. I couldn't believe it as well. He was that close.
Hold on, Bubba-plex! I gotta say that. Bubba-plex from Bubba Blanchard on Jor-El.
Whoa!
Giving a shout out to Josh Wilcox right there. A little boom, shakalaka from Bubba Blanchard. Missing the clothesline though, and look at that! A spinning drop kick from Jor-El.
While I appreciate the shout out, not a good moment there for you, Bubba. Take your eye off the ball, stay in there. Big fan of the Blanchards. I've actually trained with them before.
Hold on a sec! Bubba-plex from the Uncut Suplex Factory! And here comes JB, House of Fire, dropping Jonas, who got the tag from Jor-El Nelson off the ropes. Back elbow from Jeremy Blanchard. Going for the pinfall.
He took the fight to him.
Oh boy, he was itching to get in there and bring the fight to Jor-El and Jonas.
Shot out of a cannon.
And he's getting that opportunity while his brother Bubba catches a breather. And look at those knife-edge chops from Jeremy Blanchard. We're watching, Jeremy. We're watching. So was Jonas. I wanted to say there. He took down Jeremy, it looked like with a knee. I didn't quite see there on that camera shot.
Using the shoulder.
Backbreaker there from Jonas Robinson on 267 pounds.
That's a lot of weight to be putting across your leg there.
All right, tying him up. Jor-El comes in with that flying elbow. Nip up again. Great athleticism from this kid.
He's got some hops. You saw how high he got up on that elbow. But talking smack right there is not going to help you pin the champ, is it?
As we said, I'm not crazy about the way this whole replacement wrestler thing's been going on, but I'm seeing some talent, Josh, that would be great additions to the Uncut roster. As much as it pains me to say it, I'd love to see these guys come here on a regular basis. Look at that elbow drop to the small of the back, though, from Bubba Blanchard.
Competition brings out the best in you. And if you don't want competition, if someone's not gunning for you, are you challenging yourself each and every day to be the best you can be? Some of these guys, you're exactly right. Some scabs, some whatever. But some of these guys, the grapplers brought in, gave an opportunity, have shown yourself, me, something out there. Maybe it's scaring up some of those guys in that back locker room as well.
Bubba, that looked like a reverse choke there on Jor-El. Referee allowed it. Now he tags in his brother, Jeremy Blanchard. And down you go! Next stop, Mattsville, 2. Oof, Jor-El just got out there. I thought we might have a finish to this match right there, but Jor-El just got out. Or did Jeremy let him up? I think Jeremy let him up.
I think they like punishing guys. They enjoy dishing out some pain, don't they?
Look, these guys, again, give them credit. They called out the Blanchards by name. They said, hey, we want the baddest guys. Ask and ye shall receive. Here we go. Cinching in. Bubba Blanchard. Oh! Oh my goodness! Dropping Jor-El Nelson right on his head. 2 and 3. What a devastating suplex from Bubba Blanchard. And now he's taking out Jonas Robinson.
Winner of the match, Jeremy and Bubba, the Blanchard
What
Brothers.
a devastating suplex by Bubba Blanchard on Jor-El Nelson.
Jor-El Nelson, call your chiropractor. You're going to need it, big fella. Great match by the Blanchards. You call them out, they're not going to give you anything, are they?
They're here itching to fight.
They come to bring the pain.
Just ask and ye shall receive. There you go. An impressive victory for the Pacific Northwest Tag Team Champions. Folks, coming up next, Eric Baiten versus Exile. You're watching Portland Wrestling Uncut.
Hey, listen, Exile. You're wrestling Eric Baiten tonight. One of the scabs, okay? So, brother, look how hard you train. Look how great you are. You're probably the best guy that I've ever managed in my whole career, and that's a long line of wrestling stars, okay? I want you to go out there tonight, show me how tough you are, brother, okay? Come on, give it to me.
I got this.
Take this guy and bring home a win, man.
Welcome back, everybody, to Portland Wrestling Uncut. In the ring right now, Exile and Eric Baiten. This is the match we've been waiting for, Josh. Which side will the Grappler be on? I noticed when they came out, the Grappler wasn't there. Not at ringside right now.
Conspicuous by his absence.
But Exile throwing those big forearms there. Oh, I spoke too soon. I guess wishful thinking on my part.
Yeah.
That Grappler may not be out there. You know, we saw him a couple of times backstage with Baiten and with Exile. Saying, hey,
trying to play either side. The strength of Exile right there, holding up a big man like Baiten.
Yeah.
That's very impressive.
Grappler, come here. Now, Grappler, you got 2 men in there. Whose side are you on? Whose corner are you in here, Grappler?
You want me to be honest with you, Joe?
Yeah, please, for a change. Yeah. The winner. All right, thank you.
Thanks for the honesty. Appreciate that.
That was really worth it. All right, thank you, Grappler, for that.
Breaking news, right?
All right, well, Eric Baiten now working on the #1 contender to the heavyweight championship, Exile. Of course, we were talking about this earlier, Josh. Last week, he came within a fraction of a second of winning that heavyweight championship from Big Ugly. Had the sleeper hold. Time just ran out. And during that match, Ugly sustained a concussion and can't wrestle apparently for a couple weeks.
Well, you saw the big kick that he had there.
Yeah.
Knocked him into next week with that. Look
at that punching suplex there from Exile and Eric Baiten. He calls himself the Lone Wolf. But as you were saying, yeah, that big boot, that size 15 to the mug of the heavyweight champion, and that put him on the shelf.
Yeah, Dr. Rosen wouldn't let him come out and fly, get anywhere out there. So, you know, I think the opportunity for Exile here is to come in, and he wants to show everybody he does deserve that #1 shot, that he's going for that gold. And listen, you got to understand Grappler. Is it any surprise that he just picked the winner?
Right.
Is that any surprise?
Oh, a front runner if there ever was one, the 7-time Pacific Northwest heavyweight champion. Next week it's going to be exciting, Josh. As much as these scabs aren't, endearing themselves to the roster, we've got lots of new talent that will debut next week. I'm told the Grapplers bringing in wrestlers from Canada, from Championship Wrestling in Hollywood, and they're going to be here next week. So lots of new faces and plenty of action next week.
Well, Grappler's got his feelers out across the world. Let's be honest here. This guy been in the business for 30 years. He knows a lot of people. He can find guys. And all everybody's looking for is an opportunity to come in here if I was sitting back in that locker room right now and Grappler's bringing these guys in, giving a foot in the door, wouldn't you want to be fired up, take one of those guys out, and prove they don't belong here?
Yep, that's what it's all about, is protecting their turf as it is. Missing that clothesline. Exile, look at the big power slam on Eric Baiten. And here comes the #1 contender. Spear by Exile. Takes out the Lone Wolf. 1, 2, 3. Big victory for Exile.
Boy.
Your winner of the matchup, the man
What is
they
this?
call Exile.
And look at this, the Grappler acting like he just won the Super Bowl. Well, there you go, an impressive victory for Exile, the #1 contender for the Heavyweight Championship. Folks, we're out of time, but join us next week. We've got talent from all over the world right here, and you're going to see them on Portland Wrestling Uncut.